today. So please kindly confirm is my screen is visible or not. I am sharing my screen. Yes guys, my screen is visible.
Yeah, sir.
Okay. So in previous lecture session we'll discuss or we started regarding OOPS concept, right? So under that we discussed regarding the inheritance, right? Or under this inheritance we discuss the single level inheritance, multi-level inheritance, right? And in today's session we'll discuss regarding hierarchical inheritance and multiple inheritance, right? So before that, uh, in single level inheritance, so what happens in single level inheritance? Tell me guys, what is mean by single level inheritance? For single level inheritance, here two classes are mandatory, right? But suppose for single level inheritance, two classes are mandatory. Suppose this is the one class that is suppose father. This is one class, and then second one is the son class, right? So for single level inheritance, we require two classes, right? And the son is extending these properties, right? This is the super class, or we can say parent class, and this is the subclass, right? So for single level inheritance, we require two classes, right? Or two classes are mandatory. Suppose there is only one class is there, son class, and there is no other class is there. So in that case, is single level inheritance is possible? Please, guys, tell me.
Yeah.
It's
No,
not
sir. No, no, sir.
no. Okay. Who is saying no and who is saying yes? Please. If yes, then why it is possible, and if no, and why it is not possible by using single class.
Because with a single class there is no concept of inheritance type.
Right. By using single class, also the single level inheritance possible, because what happens in Java, there is one class is there by default,
That is object.
object class, right? So that
Yes.
most class which is available, right? So by using that, we can extend the son class property will get extended into object class. So this is the supermost class, right? So for fresher people, this question might ask in your interview. So tell me the which is the supermost class which is available in the Java, right? So in that case, you are telling the object is the supermost class in Java, right? But also in that case also, on the top of this father class also there is a one object class is available, right? Because this class is given by default by the compiler, right? So that's why by using single class also the single level inheritance is possible, right? So I am writing regarding the object class. So what is mean by object class? Suppose question might ask in your interview, which is supermost class in Java, right? What is the answer of that question?
Object is a supermost class in Java, sir.
right. But
Yeah.
here object is supermost class, but here one exception is there, means excluding except the exception classes, right? Means in Java there is exception classes also available. So excluding that exception classes, the object is supermost class in Java, right? Object is supermost class except exception class, right? So this is the supermost class which is available in Java. And under this most class object class, there is 11 non-static methods are also available. So that all methods are non-static. That means for using that method, we have to create the object, right? Because for non calling the non-static method, we require object creation, right? So are you guys understanding what I am saying here? Means under this object class, there are 11 non-static different 11 non-static methods are present, right? Because object is supermost class except exception class, right? So next, my next question is, so is single level inheritance is possible by using single class? So now what is your answer?
Yes.
Yes, right? The answer of that question is yes, right? Why this is uh, possible? Because object is the supermost class which is present in the Java, right? So we can say, so single class in Java exhibits single level inheritance because object is the supermost class in Java. So this is clear to all guys. Anyone having problem, please ask. Otherwise, we will move forward. So this is clear to all guys. Why we are saying here the by using single class, the single level inheritance is possible because by default the object is the supermost class which is available in the Java except exception classes, and this object class is having 11 non-static methods which are present in that object class, right? Right. So under this 11 non-static method, object class 11 non-static method. So from this 11 non-static method, there is one method which is present under this object class, that is nothing but the finalize method, right? So this is also the question interviewer uh, ask you. So tell me the what is finalize method, right? So what is the work of finalize method? And there is also the different question they might ask in interview. So tell me the difference between final, finally, and finalize, right? So that also the interviewer most favorite question they might ask in the interview, right? So what is the work of that finalize methods? So the finalize method is used for the garbage collection, right? So finalize method is used for garbage collection, right? Means this is acting as a garbage collector. Suppose interview.
Sir, actually, it's clean up the garbage collection or you only use it for garbage collections?
No, it is used for only garbage collection.
Only use it for garbage collection.
Yeah.
Not use it for clean up the garbage collection.
No.
Yeah, okay, sir.
Okay. So suppose interviewer asks you, tell me the regarding the finalized method. Are you aware about the finalized method? So in that case, you can tell the interviewer. So finalized methods is belong to the object class and it is acting as a garbage collector, right? So in that way, you can tell the interviewer what is mean by finalized method, right? So this is clear, guys. So garbage collector means it is uh, collecting the wastage, right? So
Collecting the unused
yeah,
memory.
yeah, unused memory. It is collecting the unused memory. So this is clear, guys, right? So our next topic is hierarchical inheritance, right? The third topic under the inheritance is hierarchical inheritance. So what happens in that? So in that, what happens? Suppose I am taking one example here. Suppose there is one class that is the father, right? And this father is having different means son, right? There are three sons are having father. Suppose this is the son 1, and this is son 2, and this is son 3, right? So what happens? Suppose this father is having some property. Suppose this father is having money, then car, and then home, right? So the father is having these three properties with him, and son 1 is having suppose laptop, and son 2 is having bike, and third son is having mobile, right? So what happened in hierarchical inheritance? So in that hierarchical inheritance, the different, or we can say multiple subclasses, this is subclass, right? Son 1, son 2, and son 3 is subclasses, and superclass is father, right? This is the superclass, and these all are the subclasses. Subclass 1, this is subclass 2, and this is subclass 3, right? So multiple subclasses are extending the properties from the uh, same, or we can say single superclass. It is nothing but the hierarchical inheritance. That means that three sons are extending their properties towards the fathers, right? So we are using here extend keywords. So this son 1 is extends his properties, also son 2 also extends this property, and son 3 also extends these properties. So how we can say, or in the definition, what we can say hierarchical inheritance, what means what? So I am writing here. hierarchical inheritance is nothing but the, so we can say all subclasses or we can say multiple here, multiple subclasses are trying to acquire properties from one superclass. This is nothing but the hierarchical inheritance, right? So for program perspective, I am writing, I am taking one program here. Suppose I am taking here one class, public class. Suppose I am taking parent as a public class, right? So class body get open here. Then what is the properties the parent have or father have? So first property is having parent is public, suppose money. So this is the first property parent belongs to, and how much money stream dot out, suppose 10 lakh he is having, right? Then second one, public void, suppose father is having car, right? So which car is having father? Stream dot out dot, so suppose Swift car is having father, right? These two properties is belongs to fathers, and third property is having home, right? So public void home is there, system dot out dot print ln, suppose I am taking here bungalow, right? So these three properties belongs to father, right? Then what happens, the son one is having, suppose I am taking here public class son one. Son one is having laptop, right? So public void laptop, and which laptop is son is having, out dot println, suppose son is having HP laptop with him, right? But for that son we have to extend, right? So where we have to extend this, to parent class, right? So this is the first son. Then we are having second son, public class son 2, and son 2 is having public void, suppose bike, and which bike is having son 2, system dot out dot print ln, suppose this son is having bike Duke, right? So that second son also extending his property to parent. Extend parent, right? So this is the second son is having this property. Then third son, so public class son 3, and son 3 is having mobile. So public void mobile is there, and system dot out dot println. So which company the son is holding this mobile? Suppose Apple company son is having this mobile, right? So and also we have to extend this with parent son 3, extend parent, right? So this happens. Then for calling this all the methods, we have to we require the one main class method, right? So under that we are calling all these method, right? So for that we have to create one separate class. Suppose I am creating public class demo is there, and here the main method is there, and for calling this all the methods we have to create the object, right? Because this is all non-static method. So see here, I am using any static keyword is here. This is the public void money, right? This is non-static method. This is also non-static method. This is also non-static. This is also non-static method, right? So for that I have to create the object of all the classes, right? So first I am creating the object of sun1, and I am giving reference variable as a yes. Then there is a new keyword, and sun1, this is the constructor, right? Then after that I am creating the object of sun2. Then I am giving the reference variable as s1 here. Then new keyword is there, and this is the constructor, right? Then I am creating the object of third class, that is sun3, and I am giving here the reference variable s2 new, and constructor is there, right? So I am creating the object, right? So now I have to call the all methods, right? So how I can call the method? So reference variable dot, so sun1 yes, right? So I am calling here car, then yes dot home is there, yes dot money is there, right? Then s1 dot laptop is there, s2 dot bike is there, and s3 dot mobile is there, right? So that are all methods I am calling here, right? So let's see in the Eclipse as well, so how we can create the
Rahul, we can't uh, inherit the methods from the base class to the subclasses.
can you repeat once again what you are saying?
From the base class, we have some methods, right? So the same methods we can't write in from subclasses.
No, we can call because that base class is public now, so we can call that class. because we are
Yes.
giving the public, right? So public means we can call anywhere, right, from anywhere. So that's why by using that we can call. Looking here private, in that case we can't the means extend that. So are you got it? Because we are
But here child class also public only, right? Then if we want to call from this super class methods,
hmm,
so we can't access with single class.
from super class, supermost class.
Yes.
So in that case also we can call, because in that case also we have to create the object now.
Yes, because from we have created object for this S1 and S2, S3, right?
Right.
This is for three subclasses. So if we want to access the base class
Hmm.
from subclass,
Because
is it possible to access like that?
yeah, what happens here, that's why we are extending all these properties to the parent now.
Yes,
We are
yes.
using
So,
the keyword here, because all
okay.
the properties we are extending now. That's why we can call them.
Yes. Okay.
Okay, so I'm creating one here. So I'm creating one package under this. So that is, and under that package I'm creating one class, that is class name is parent, right? So under parent I am taking different properties of parent, right? So for that I am taking the non-static method. So public void, first I am taking money, and I am writing one statement under this money, suppose 10 lakh, right? This is the one property which is belongs to parent. Then second one is having car, and also here I am taking Swift as a car. Then public void home I am taking, and under this I am taking bungalow, right? So this is the uh, super class. So for your understanding purpose I am writing here this is the super class, right? So I am giving comment here, this is the super class, right? And under this same package I am creating the subclass, that is sun1, right? So first I am creating sun1 class is there, sun1 is there, right? So what is the property of sun1? So I am giving public void, suppose laptop I am giving,
Rahul, I have one more doubt. Rahul, we can't write all the classes in a single class, because in the parent class, after writing the parent class, we can't write subclass there itself.
so we can write there, but for your understanding purpose I am taking the different classes.
Okay, in real time scenario, whether we are able to write same there only.
Yeah, we can write there only.
Okay.
Okay, this is the Sun1, right? So for Sun1, we are extending to the parent. So that's why I'm taking here extend keywords, and I am taking parent, right? Then I am creating one another class, that is Sun2. So here also I am taking property option, that is bike, and here I am taking Duke one, right? And this also I am extending by using extends keyword to parent, right? Then also I am creating third class, that is Sun3. I am taking mobile here, and I am taking Samsung, right? So this all are the, and here I am extending this class also to the parent, right? So these all are the subclasses, right? So for your understanding, I am writing comment here, subclass third here. This one is subclass second, and this one is subclass first, right? So to call this all the methods under these classes, we have to create one another class. So in that class, we have to take main method, right? So for that, I am taking demo as a main method class, and under that I am taking main method, and here only I am calling all the sorry. So we have to create object, because all the methods are, we are taking non-static, that's why we are creating the object. So first, sun1 yes equals to new sun1, this is the one class object. Then sun2, I am giving reference variable as a s1 here, equals to new sun2. Then next one is sun3. Here I am taking reference variable as a s2, then new keyword, and constructor is sun3, right? So now I am calling the all the methods, right? So yes dot, there is car method, then yes dot, there is home method, and yes dot, there is car home and money method, right? And after that, yes one dot, bike method is there. S2 dot S2 dot car method is there. Sorry. And S3 dot car, home, money, bike, mobile. And which one is left, guys? We have taken car, home, money, bike, mobile, and mobile we have taken, bike we have taken, laptop. So yes, not laptop, right? So after executing this, we are getting all the output here, right? So this is nothing but the hierarchical inheritance, right? So after getting class is over, I am sending this all the programs in your group. Okay. So are you guys understanding what is mean by hierarchical inheritance and what happens? Right, guys?
Yes, yes, sir.
Okay. So next is nothing but the multiple inheritance. So this is very very important, and on this topic, the most of the interviewer ask you the questions. This is a very very important topic, that is nothing but the multiple inheritance, right? So multiple is different and multi-level is different, right? So in multi-level, the one object is extending properties to another object, right? But in multiple inheritance, what happens? So let's see. Yes,
Thus,
anyone knows?
yes, from the subclass acquiring and the properties from two superclasses.
Right, right. That's exactly correct. So in that case, what happens?
So actually, from Java, it's not supporting multiple inheritance, right?
Right, right. So for example, I am taking here. Suppose there is a father one is there, and father one is there, and this is the father two, right? And here I am taking the subclass that is son, right? So these two are the superclasses, and this son is nothing but the subclass, right? But in real time, it is possible कि one son or one boy is having two father. Is it possible in real time also,
No, not possible.
right? It is also not possible in real time, as well as in Java also it is not possible, right? Because this son is get confused, right? Which is his father, father one, or who he will call the father, father one or father two, right? So because in real time and in Java also, the, the son is having only one father, right? So in that case, means this son is getting confused to whom should he acquire the properties, right? Is there father 1 or father 2, right? Because father 1 and father 2 are the two super classes which are present in the same place, right? And the son class is getting confused here, right? But as we know that in Java, which is the supermost class is having.
Hello, sir. Sir, actually, I had doubt in my mind.
Yes, yes, ask me.
Yeah, you have father one, father two. Instead of father two, you keep in a mother. It is okay to son.
So in that case also he get confused now. So whom should
Why? Because sir.
uh, but for your understanding purpose, I am taking here same classes, right? But in that case also he get confused. Whom should he acquire the properties from, father or mother, right? Because father contains other properties and mother contains other properties. So in that case also the son get confused, right? So as we know that there is a supermost class which is present in Java, that is nothing but the object class, right? So this is the supermost class. So what happens in multiple inheritance? So this father 1 and father 2 is having acquiring this means extending to the object class. So in that case what happens? So
Reduce the complexity and simplicity of the code. Sir. Is it right, sir?
what
Reduce the complexity and simplicity of the code.
complexity of the code, right? So here the diamond like structure we are seeing here, right? So I am not actually draw properly, but we can see here this here we can see the diamond like structure is happens here, right? So that means in the Java this is nothing but the diamond ambiguity problem. So we can say in the multiple inheritance the diamond like structure is happens in the multiple inheritance. That's why in Java doesn't support the multiple inheritance, right? Because here the diamond like structure is happens, that we can call it as a diamond ambiguity, right? So diamond ambiguity problem, right? So why this is happen, why this is happening here? So as you know that each class is containing the each class is having its own constructor, right? Because in previous uh, example we can see, so suppose there is sun1 class is there, so sun1 class is having the its own constructor, right? That is sun1. Sun2 is having its own constructor sun2. So like that the each class is having its own constructor, right? So suppose here what happens in the multiple inheritance. So here is f1 I am taking and f2 here I am taking, and this is some I am taking. So f1 having its own constructor and f2 is having its own constructor and sun class is having its own constructor, right? So in the multiple inheritance what happens? So in multiple inheritance, the constructor chaining cannot be taken place, right? What what is mean what is mean by that? So here it is having f2 constructor is there. It's also having constructor. It's also having constructor, right? So in that case, what happens in multiple inheritance? So in the multiple inheritance, the constructor chaining is not properly taken place, right? So if in single level inheritance there is father and there is son, right? So father is having its own constructor and son is having its own constructor, right? So in that case, the son constructor is get communicate between the father's constructor, right? But here the son's constructor is get confused whom to talk, means father one or father two, right? So under this constructor there is one statement is there, that is nothing but the super cause statement, right? So here the constructor chaining is not possible. So that's why we can say in Java is doesn't support the multiple inheritance, right? That means each class is containing the super call statement, right? Because under this constructor there is a one super call statement is present. So this son class is also having super call statement, and this constructor father two constructor also having super call statement, right? And this father one is also having super call statement, right? So while acquiring the properties from one class to another, here that superclass statement which are present in the class are communicating between each other, right? So that means that superclass statement making chaining here, right? This superclass statement is making chaining here, right? But when this constructor chaining is possible in case of only the this scenario, right? Because there is only one superclass and multiple super subclasses or one subclass, right? In that case that is possible, but here the constructor or superclass statement is get confused here, right? Whom should he approach first, father one or father two, right? So we can say in the multiple inheritance what happens, I am writing here. Suppose in interviewer ask you why the Java doesn't support the multiple inheritance. So in that case, what you have to say. So I am writing here. So it is the type of inheritance in which one subclass is trying to acquire properties from two superclasses simultaneously or at a time, or we can say at a time, right? So in this process, what happens? So in this process, supercall statement in subclass constructor get confused here. So that what happens? So that constructor chaining cannot be taken place. Constructor chaining can't take place. Hence, what happens? Hence, it result in diamond ambiguity problem. Right? We can say DAP. So this is very important, guys. So if interviewer asks you why the multiple inheritance is not supported by Java or not possible in Java, so in that case you can tell the interviewer in which or in the multiple inheritance the one subclass is trying to acquire the properties from the two superclasses simultaneously, or we can say at a time. So in that process what happens, the superclass statement in the subclass constructor get confused, so that this constructor chaining cannot be taken place, right? So that's why we are getting the diamond ambiguity problem, right? And we are there is creating the diamond like structure, that is nothing but the diamond ambiguity problem, right? So you can tell like that, right? When interview ask you why the multiple inheritance is not supported by Java, so in that case you can tell the interviewer this answer, right? So this is clear, guys, what is mean by multiple inheritance? Yes, guys, please tell me. Am I audible, guys?
Yes, Rahul.
Yes, clear. So this is
Yes.
what the diamond ambiguity problem is, right? So can we solve the diamond ambiguity problem, guys? Please tell me. Can we solve? My question is,
Maybe from Java we can solve, right?
can we solve the diamond ambiguity problem? Yeah, in Java only. So yes, definitely we can solve the diamond ambiguity problem by using interface, right? So what happens here? Why this multiple inheritance or diamond ambiguity problem occurs here? Due to this constructor problem, right? Due to this constructor, because there is constructor chaining cannot be taken place properly. That's why we are getting this problem, right? So what happens? So by using, I am writing first, by using interface we can solve the DAP, right? We can solve the DAP. How? Because in interface there is no constructor. Why this problem is occur? Diamond ambiguity problem due to this constructor, right? So if we remove the constructor, then we solve this problem, right? So that's why in interface there is no constructor is present. So by using that interface, we can solve the diamond ambiguity problem in Java, right? So this is also the important question, as means as we can say interview perspective. This is also the important question. So can we solve the diamond ambiguity problem? So definitely yes. By using the interface, we can solve the diamond ambiguity problem because in interface there is no constructor. So why this is diamond ambiguity problem is occur due to this constructor, because the constructor chaining cannot be properly taken place, right? Because the subclass constructor is getting confused, right? Whom to approach first, the first superclass constructor or second superclass constructor. So for removing that, we are using the interface here, right? So this is nothing but the multiple inheritance, right guys? So this is clear to all guys, right? So next we'll see the next OOPS principle, that is nothing but the encapsulation, right? So I already told you regarding the encapsulation. So tell me what is mean by encapsulation? Yes, Kumara.
Sir, encapsulation, code wrapping data and code acting on the data, sir,
Okay.
as a single unit.
Right. So in encapsulation, I am taking same example. That day I also took that example. So this is the capsule, right? And under this capsule, there are different medicines are available. Different color medicines are available, right? These all are the medicines, and this is the wrapper, right? So here what happens? The wrapping the properties and behavior of an object inside the class, that is nothing but the encapsulation. So in that case, or this is the example of encapsulation. In that what happens? So under this wrapper there is a different medicines are available, right? And that medicines having different properties, right? So that properties is wrapped by this wrapper, right? That is nothing but the encapsulation. Or we can say other example I am taking regarding the encapsulation is there. Suppose uh, there is a car. This is the one car. So this is the example 2, and under this car there is a engine, right? So this engine is properly binded, right? This is not visible by driver or who is driving this car. That means here we are wrapping this property of one object, right? That is engine. That is nothing but the encapsulation, right? So are you guys understanding what I am saying here? So first
Yes, Professor.
I am writing the definition of encapsulation: the process of wrapping the properties and behavior of an object inside the class that is nothing but the encapsulation, right? So here this is covering all properties, or this is wrapping all properties. That means under this encapsulation, or under this class, right? Suppose this is a wrapper is nothing but the class, and under that there is, we are hiding some properties, right? That means all the members which are present in encapsulated class are private. So here I am writing one note regarding this. All the members in encapsulated class are private, right? So this is very important, guys. Means while using Selenium, or we are learning Selenium, in that case we are using this encapsulation uh, concept right there also. So that's why this is very important. So all the members which are present in the encapsulated class are private, right? So how we can access this member? So for that there is a two class methods are
Setter and
present,
getter methods.
correct? The we are providing the access to that private members of encapsulated class using getters and setters method. So second note I am writing here. So we can provide access to private members of encapsulated class using getters. This is one method. So this is method, that's why I am writing this like that. And this is another method, setters method, right? So what is mean by getters methods and setters method? What is the work of that methods? So getters methods are used basically to reinitialize the private member of encapsulated class, right? And getters methods are used to fetch the data, and setters methods are used to reinitialize the private members of encapsulated class, right? So I am writing regarding the getters and setters methods. So in Selenium we are using these methods, getters and setters also. So this is very important, getters method. So getters methods we are using these are used to fetch the data, and setters are used setters method are used to these are used to reinitialize private member of encapsulated class. So what is getters and setters methods? So while learning the Selenium, we will see regarding details regarding these methods. So right now you have to know what exactly the getters or setters methods. The getters methods are used uh, while we are fetching the encapsulated uh, data, and setters methods are used to reinitialize the private member which are present in the encapsulated class, right? So generally the getters methods are used for reading the data, reading purpose, and this is used for the writing purpose, right? So that is nothing but the getters and setters method, right guys? So this is clear, all of you?
Yeah, yeah, sir.
Okay. So before that, one important question is asked in you to the interview, that is nothing but the singleton class. So I am giving overview of singleton class. What is mean by singleton class? So I am directly write the example. Only the interview asks regarding the definition of singleton class. What is mean by singleton class exactly? So in that case, we have to say a class containing only one constructor as a private, that is nothing but the singleton class, right? So I am writing the definition. A class containing only one constructor as a private, it is called as singleton class, right? So you have to know regarding this only, because as a tester you have to know that only singleton, the definition of singleton, right? This is sufficient for you guys, what is mean by singleton class. Okay, the definition of singleton class: the class containing only one constructor as a private, that is nothing but the singleton class, right? So next is what is private and what is mean by access, right? We are use here the word access in the encapsulation, right? Means we are providing the access. What is mean by access, right? So that we are going to see in the next topic, that is nothing but the access specifier, right? So how many access specifier are there in
There are
Java?
four, sir. Public, private, protected, default.
So what is the work of access specifier? Just tell me. So the main work of access specifier is it is used to declare the scope of particular class, right? Means what is the scope of that class, right? For that purpose we are using the access specifier. I am writing here. So these are used to declare the scope of particular class, right? So how many types of there? There are four types. Which are they? I'm writing here. The
Public, private,
default is there, then protected is there, and fourth one is public,
public.
right? So what is mean by scope here? That means
Within a class.
can access that particular access specifier or that class within that scope, right? That means suppose we are using the private access specifier, so we can use the scope of that private access specifier is within the class, right? So the private access specifier, the scope of that private access specifier is within the class scope, right? And default,
Within the package.
so within the package, then protected,
Within a package and as well as a subclass of its another other package.
package to package we can say, and public,
Can anyway.
It access and all classes and packages.
where we can access this public access specifier, right? So for example, I am taking private, first one, the private access specifier, right? Means if we declare the any member of class as a private, that means the scope of that member is within the class only, right? So that is nothing but the private. For example, suppose I am taking
Yes.
class A is here, and I am declaring one variable as a private, that is nothing but the, here I am taking private and integer, suppose A equals to 10 here, and main method is here, and suppose I am printing someone, system dot out dot println, suppose I am printing here hi, right? That means what happens in this case? So we can't access this integer a equals to 10 in other package, other class, because we are using here the access specifier that is private. That means we can use this only within this class only, right? The scope of this integer a equals to 10, that is private. That's why we are not using this in another package and another class. That means that is nothing but the private, right? Because here we are using the private access specifier. That means the scope of this is only within this class A, right? That is nothing but the private access specifier. So I am writing the definition of private access specifier here. If we declare any member of class as a private, then scope of that member is within class only, right? So this is regarding the private. So are you guys understanding? So this is the first access specifier we are learn here. So today we will stop here only, because today is Holi in all over India.